Knock down 7 times, get up 8. That's one of the best lessons I learned as a martial artist. It's all about resilience. It's a very popular idea these days. A lot of people are taking some hard knocks right now. And even if you've escaped the virus, there's jobs lost, businesses closing, savings gone, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A lot of people are scared right now. That's okay. Courage isn't the absence of fear. The absence of fear is stupidity. Fear is a survival mechanism. It's our built-in radar that makes us aware of danger. Courage is facing our fear and doing what needs to be done anyway. Nelson Mandela said it best. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. That's what I believe. And that's the first step in resilience. It's the first step that helps us get up when we're knocked down. Because believe me, sometimes staying down looks like a lot better option, or at least an easier one. So the key isn't to hide from your fear or deny it. You grab hold of it and you give it a big hug. Acknowledge your fear, name it, bring it into clear focus so you understand exactly what you're dealing with. Then, walk on by. I learned about resilience as a drug addict. It's probably more accurate to say I learned a lot about resilience when I decided to quit. Now, we don't have much time today, so I'm just going to give you the short story. First of all, I should have been dead or in jail many times over. When I decided to quit, I had nothing. I was living in this old shack of a trailer. I had an unregistered, uninsured, barely running Volkswagen Bug. I really didn't know day to day if I was going to eat or if I was going to be able to get to work, and my job was only part-time. All my fault, no one to blame but myself. But there it was, and poverty is poverty, whether you do it to yourself or not. But at least I had a place to live, and that's how I learned the next step. Gratitude, and I mean that. I learned to be grateful. At least I had a place to live, and in most days I had enough to eat. Gratitude is taking inventory. It's the most practical thing you can do, no matter where you are in life. It's taking inventory of what you have here and now, no matter how much or how little that might be. Gratitude is the acknowledgement of what you have, emotionally, materially, and spiritually. And that's important because no matter where you're trying to go from here, this is what you've got to work with. So gratitude helps you focus more on what you have and helps you worry a little bit less about what you don't. Now, it's important to take inventory in all 3 of those areas I just talked about: emotional, material, and spiritual. Material is the easiest one as far as taking inventory. What tangible resources do we have right here and right now? Money, supplies, tools, and equipment if that's what you need. Emotional, this is our support system. Friends, family, teachers, mentors. Who's there to provide support and encouragement? And spiritual, now that might be religious to you, but if not, it really doesn't matter. You still need to take inventory in this area. These are the things that aren't as easy to measure. We can't see them, touch them, or weigh them. We know they exist because we see their effects or because we feel them. Now, how much love do you have in your life? How much courage? How much desire to get back in the fight? Now, these things aren't entirely separate. There's a lot of overlap, but the key, again, is to just understand and appreciate what you've got to work with. And once you figure out what you have, you got to do something with it. Now, a long time ago, Lao Tzu said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Isn't that the truth? Especially when we've been knocked down. Now, some people start with a big goal. Be careful. There's nothing wrong with a big goal if that's what you need to get you moving, but break it down. Big goals too often fail because people don't really have what it takes to make it through the first step. Break it down to that first step. Make sure you have what you need to get going. Use the big goal as a compass. It can keep you moving in the right direction, and it can bring you back if you stray off course. Now, along the way, celebrate little victories. It's easy to get overwhelmed, even obsessed with problems, challenges, and obstacles. Every small win will give you more energy to keep going, especially when it's hard. And people that are really good at bouncing back are really good at appreciating small wins. Learn to have a soft gaze. That's what some of my masters called it. Have you ever noticed that most of our threats and our opportunities are really not right in front of us? That's why people say, I never saw it coming. We've got to train our peripheral vision. If you're focused too narrowly, you can't see what's coming from the sides. And that's very important right now because there are opportunities all around us. We've got to be careful not to be so blindly focused on one problem or our fear. We've got to train ourselves to be open to what's coming from other directions. And finally, sometimes people will say, you've got to get up, when you're knocked down because there's no other option. Well, that's just naive. Of course there's another option. You can just stay down. I'll tell you a quick story. I decided to be a boxer when I was 33 years old. How's that for stupid? Now that's part of the reason I told you about my past as a drug addict. My boxing was trying to make up for lost time. Anyway, I had my first sanctioned fight, and I was supposed to fight a guy about the same age as me, about the same experience. But when I got to the fights, he scratched. He had the flu. My trainer, Dave, said, no problem. Got another fight for you. He introduced me to the guy. Young guy, about 6 foot tall, arms like an eagle. They called me the Penguin. You understand what I'm talking about? Anyway, nice guy, so we shook hands, said, let's get it on. But something was bothering me. I thought I recognized his trainer. I said that to Dave. Dave said, don't worry about it. I said, you don't worry about it. You're not getting in the ring tonight, right? It just kind of stuck with me. Started the first round. I'd broken my nose a few weeks before in training, and this guy did it for me again real quick. He was turning me into a human Pez dispenser. You understand what I'm saying? Did I tell you it was my birthday? I don't think I did. It was my birthday that night. So I had invited some friends, and they were all sitting ringside. Now finally, this guy lays me down. I'm looking up at the lights, and I can hear my friends yelling at me. And what do you suppose they were yelling? I wish they were yelling, stay down. Get up, Jim, get up! Vultures. Anyway, I did get up. I made it through the round somehow. I guess I was sitting on a stool not talking to Dave, so he thought I had enough and he threw in the towel. Now, it's a funny thing as a boxer. You could be in a coma in that corner, and as soon as the towel goes by, all of a sudden you think everything's all right. But Dave said, no, we'll live to fight another day. But all of a sudden, that's when it kicked in. I recognized that other guy's trainer. His name was Tony Lampron. That's not going to mean anything to you. But he was 2-time Golden Gloves champion of New England, I think. That's not the good part. He was the trainer to our 2-time super lightweight champion of the world, Joey Gamache. I was fighting Tony's kid. Did these guys set me up good or what? Anyway, I did tell you it was my birthday, right? My friends took me out to, let's call it an establishment for adult entertainment. The only reason that's important is because we were sitting ringside there too. Me with my cotton stuffed up my broken nose, blood dripping. Oh, I must have been a sight, huh? Had a few drinks. And finally I looked over at my friends and I said, guys, do you love me? They all said, oh yeah, Jim, we love you. You're our friend, right? I said, then the next time I'm laid out like that, all I want to hear you guys say is, stay down. Took me a while to figure it out, but I was wrong. Absolutely wrong. Aren't those the kind of people you want in your corner? Aren't those the kind of people you want ringside? Now, one of the big mistakes people make when they think about resilience is that they have to go it alone. Absolutely not. In fact, you have to be open to help. Put good people in your corner. And give your ringside seats to your best supporters too. And that's what helps us no matter how many times we're knocked down. Knocked down 7 times, get up 8. I'm Jim Bouchard, leadership activist and founder of the Sensei Leader Movement.